Okay, this video is one I've been meaning to make for a little while, but I've been thinking about it. And I wanted to make sure I had all the ideas collated in my head before I went ahead and did it. Now, the subject at hand is a divisive one at best. And that subject is the female gamer. Now, there's a lot of, how can I put this, not very many complimentary things said about female gamers, or women in gaming altogether. I think I'd like to redress the balance. For me personally, some of the better players in my PSN list and in my life are women. Simple as. And I also believe that if there are more women gamers, or girl gamers, because it depends what you define as a woman, blah blah, but let's just say female. If there are more female gamers, then to me that's only ever a good thing, because it adds diversification to our community. And with diversification means the writers and makers of games have to try harder to give compelling stories to games with compelling characters and not so one-dimensional female characters. It's very rare in our particular storytelling medium where you actually get a good, strong, balanced female lead. I mean, they're either weaklings or over the top. And over the top's fun, but when it comes to a solid story, you need more, but at the same time, less. I know it sounds like a contradiction, but I think you know what I'm driving at anyway. But another thing that gets me with this is, women are an integral part, to everything. I mean, there are females that write in gaming websites and gaming magazines. There are females that build the games, whether it be programming or art design, direction, story writing. I mean, Amy Hennig, hello. And you have to remember the first Assassin's Creed was primarily brought to us by a woman. And I think women have just as much to offer to gaming as men do. In fact, I would like to propose that we actually drop the term female gamer, girl gamer, whatever, and just refer to them as gamers. Simple. Because it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman or transgender. If you like games, you like games. And the industry has always been like, well, how do we cater to the female gamer? What will they buy? They'll buy what we buy because they're gamers. What gamers want? You know what you want. You want solid built games. No on-disc DLC. You want great lighting, great music, great animation, beautifully done modelling. You want the graphics to go, whoa. You want the sound to be, holy shit. You want everything to be nice. And you want this medium to go on to become more and bigger and better and stronger. I mean, Dara Ó Briain said it himself, You could be bad at reading a book. Sorry, you can't be bad at reading a book. You can't be bad at listening to an album. But you can be bad at a video game. If you're bad at a video game, you get denied the rest of the story. It's not like a book goes to you halfway through and says, like, what are the principal directions of the three main characters of this book? And if you can't answer it, shuts the book. Doesn't happen. Happens in gaming. There's a reward structure. If you're good at the game, you get the rest of the game. And there's something special about that. But at the same time, with that specialness, we have to make sure that we can bring in other people who don't quite get the specialness yet, and make it not so much accessible, but desirable. Accessibility is an overused word, because accessibility often gets turned into easiness, and if a game's too easy, you just beat it, do it, and you might not ever come back to another game. You go, well, what was that about? I just did that. But accessibility, there. Think about it. If you have game developers going, right, we have to make sure that a vast amount of people dig this, but that they also get something out of it. I mean, that when you beat a game and you've been sweating over it, and your fingers and thumbs have been flying, and you've been reading up bits on the internet, and you've gone at one level like 15 times, and all of a sudden you're cracking, you're like, yes! That's where gaming lies. And I think that development comes through when we embrace the diversity that can exist within our community. So, gamers of either sex are gamers. No more male gamers, boy gamers, girl gamers, women gamers, female gamers, male gamers, blah 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 blah. Gamers. I think that's pretty much covered it. I mean, viva la différence, so they say. Yeah? It's pretty simple when you get down to it. And on a sidebar, if you're in a lobby and some guy shoots you, don't call him gay. Okay? That is really offensive. Don't call him a retard. And definitely don't use a racial stereotype, because you bring yourself down and you bring us all down. Okay? Let's keep it cool. Let's keep it collected. And let's stay together as a community, as gamers. Okay? Disabled gamers, gamers. Transgender gamers, gamers. Black gamers, gamers. LGBT gamers, gamers. All together, just gamers. Am I making my point clear here? I'd like to think I am. Sorry to bring that such a serious note to you there, guys, but I just felt that it needed to be said, and I've been wanting to say it for a wee while. Anyway, if you like this debate, pass it around. Maybe fire some other videos back at me, make a response, sort of like tag my video in your own video and go, well, here's my counterpoint, and this is what I believe, and I believe Zembloke might be right, or I believe Zembloke is wrong. Whichever you think, go for it. This is a community. YouTube's a community. Gaming's a community. If you want to say stuff to me, but not necessarily in the video, you can always contact me through Twitter or through PSN. Explain your points to me. And if you want me to, I'll use your points and I'll put them in another video. And, I could display all the cases, all the arguments, put them together in a big mixing pot, cook that baby up and see what pops up on this here YouTube. And as always, you've got the comment section below. Anyway, make sure to rate, favourite, comment, share and subscribe. And as always, goodbye.